Okay, so back to these macros. First things first is you're gonna have to start reading and or just noticing the nutrition facts on the back of your items. So, for instance, here's two types of bread that I have. If you follow any of my diets, you won't get multiple breads. I'll have you on one bread. I know how to track my macros, so I can eat whatever I want to eat. For people that are on, for you guys who are beginners, I wouldn't suggest eating whatever you want to eat. I would suggest eating what I ask of you to eat because you haven't learned how to properly track your macros yet. But here's two different types of bread. Sara Lee is backwards. I can see. All right, there we go. It still looks backwards, but boom, there we go. Sara Lee. Sara Lee honey wheat. So let's look at these macros. And these macros on this Sara Lee honey wheat says, dun, 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 dun. And that looks upside down for you guys. So if I turn it around, it still looks upside down. Whatever. So for that, for this, the fats are 0.5. And of course, if you're having a sandwich, then I'll just double it like it's 1. Because you're going to have 2 slices of bread most times. Unless you're having like toast or something. So I get it. The carbs are 13 grams of carbs. And bread, the reason I'm using bread is because this is my favorite carb. I'm not really a rice eater like that unless I'm bulking. Bread's my favorite carb. And then carbohydrates, 13. I said that already. If you're going to have a full sandwich, then multiply that times 2. It's 26. And protein is 2. So if you're going to have a full sandwich, do the math. 2 plus 2 or times 2 equals 4. Alright, and then here's another one. Another Sara Lee. This is 100% whole wheat. That one is honey wheat. I mean, 2 different types of breads. And as you can see, I've been digging into both of them. But the macros on that, if you can see it, I mean, I'll rewatch this video to see if you can see it. But I'm going to tell you. So the macros on this is, the fat is the same as the other fat, 0.5. So with these breads especially, you really don't have to worry too much about your fats. So if you're going to eat a sandwich, it'll be 1. The carbohydrates, which is the key difference for this. So these carbohydrates for this one were 13. So 13 times 2 is 26. These carbohydrates for this one is 11, are 11. So 11 times 2 is 22. That means I get 4 extra carbs if I don't use this bread, but rather instead use this bread. And the protein is 4. So it's way more protein in here than here. It's actually double protein in this. So for me, it really just depends on how I'm feeling that day and or what are my macronutrient needs for that day. So if I'm on a cut, then I probably use this bread because I can get more protein. Protein is usually the hardest thing to get and it's the most expensive thing to get. But if I'm bulking and I have a whole lot of food to eat, I'll use this one with more carbs because my carbs are higher when I'm bulking. When I'm cutting, I'm on a 40-40-20, which is 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat. But when I'm bulking, I'm on a 50-30-20, which is 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fat. So I'll switch them off based upon my personal needs at the time or the day. But what I just showed you are macronutrients. So the fats, the carbs, and the proteins. Any nutrition facts that you look on, it'll have it in that order. Fats first, carbs second, protein last. If you count those fats, carbs, and proteins, and if you have them calculated properly, you can get the desired body that you want, no matter if you are eating bread. So many people say, yeah, you know, I'm about to lose weight. I'm cutting all my carbs. Yeah, cut that carb. Cut those carbs. And your energy level is going to be shot. You ain't going to be able to really be as productive as you could be if you just learn how to calculate those carbs. And I can teach you how to calculate those carbs so that you can have the most productive day as possible. With my diets, you'll get most of your fats and your carbs, or a large amount of your fats and your carbs in the morning. Because carbohydrates are your main source of energy. Fats are your secondary source of energy. You need fats in order to keep your hormonal balance leveled out. And you need carbs in order to actually do stuff with your day. Like, no energy means nothing happens. So, you'll get your fats and your carbs mainly in the beginning of your day, which helps if you're a PM and or if you're an AM trainer. So if you go to the gym in the morning or if you go to the gym at night, if you get some carbs in the beginning of your day, you can kind of scale it out for the rest of your day, and you can actually use that energy for the rest of your day. And then protein, I usually give my clients protein towards the end of their day. They get a little bit sporadically during the day, but lunch, second snack, and dinner is usually when I give most of the protein to my clients, mainly because protein promotes muscle growth. Your body usually rebuilds itself, not usually, your body rebuilds itself when it's asleep. So, I give you what promotes muscle growth right before you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, the magic happens. Quovatis.fit, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, Tumblr, Quovatis Fit, QUOVADIS dot FIT. QUOVADIS FIT at sign in the middle, in the beginning, all that stuff. You know what I mean. Follow us, baby. I can get your body right. All right, let's go.